That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
When you were a kid, who did you look up to?
You know, I love Michael Jordan. It's like he was like Black Jesus to me.
What separates good from great? What transforms talent into legend? Michael Jordan didn't just play basketball. He rewrote the rules of what it means to be elite. This is the blueprint of greatness, deconstructed through the mind and methods of the greatest competitor who ever lived. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. 6 championships, 5 MVP awards, 14 All-Star selections. But numbers tell only half the story. The real blueprint isn't found in his trophy case. It's embedded in his psychology, his process, and his relentless pursuit of perfection.
Jordan of greatness. He is the definition of somebody so good at what they do that everybody recognizes. That's pretty rare.
Michael J. Jordan.
Today, we are diving deep into the mindset and methods that created a legend and changed sports forever. Every blueprint starts with a foundation, and Jordan's was built on rejection. Cut from his high school varsity team as a sophomore, most would see failure. Jordan saw fuel. His coach later admitted that it was the biggest mistake he ever made. But for Jordan, it was the best thing that ever happened. This wasn't just about basketball. This was about identity formation through adversity. While his peers were celebrating small victories, Jordan was learning to weaponize disappointment. He didn't just want to prove his coach wrong. He wanted to make doubt impossible. At the University of North Carolina, Jordan hit the game-winning shot in the 1982 NCAA championship game as a freshman. But even in triumph, he was studying failure. He watched how other players crumbled under pressure and made mental notes. He was already building what would become his greatest weapon, an unshakable belief that he belonged in the biggest moments. The blueprint principle here is clear. Greatness isn't built on natural gifts alone. It's forged in the fire of early struggles that either break you or teach you that breaking is not an option. Jordan didn't just practice hard. He practiced with a level of obsession that bordered on madness. His teammates tell stories of him showing up hours before practice, staying hours after, and creating competitions out of literally everything. Shooting contests, card games, even arguing about who had the better car. Everything was a battlefield. But this wasn't random competitiveness. This was systematic excellence. Jordan understood something that most people miss. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. His system was simple but brutal. Make everything matter. Make every rep count. Make every moment a test. His famous practice intensity became legendary. Phil Jackson once said that Jordan's practices were often harder than the games because he demanded perfection from everyone around him. He wouldn't let teammates mail it in during scrimmages. If you were guarding him, you better bring everything because he was bringing everything. The blueprint principle? Obsession isn't unhealthy when it's channeled correctly. Jordan's obsession wasn't with basketball. It was with the process of becoming unstoppable. The game was just the arena where that obsession played out. Here's where Jordan separated himself from every other elite athlete. He reframed failure completely. Most people avoid failure or get crushed by it. Jordan collected it like data points. His famous quote says it all. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. This wasn't just positive thinking. This was strategic failure analysis. Jordan didn't just bounce back from losses. He dissected them. What went wrong? What could he control? What adjustments needed to be made? He turned every defeat into intelligence that made him harder to beat next time. The 1995 playoff loss to Orlando after his first comeback? Most saw it as evidence that he was done. Jordan saw it as proof that he needed to get his body and timing back to championship level. He used that loss as fuel for the greatest 3-year run in basketball history. The blueprint principle? Failure is only failure if you don't extract the lesson. Jordan turned every setback into a setup for a comeback. Jordan's clutch gene wasn't magic, it was methodology. While others crumbled under pressure, Jordan had systematically prepared for these moments his entire career. Every practice shot, every visualization session, every mental rehearsal was building toward these seconds when everything mattered. But here's the secret sauce. Jordan didn't just prepare for clutch moments, he created them. He would deliberately put himself in pressure situations during practice. He'd make bets with teammates on shots. He'd visualize worst-case scenarios and then mentally rehearse executing perfectly anyway. The famous flu game in the 1997 finals wasn't just about toughness. It was about a man who had programmed himself to perform regardless of circumstances. His body was failing, but his mental operating system was still running perfectly. He had trained his mind to override his body's limitations. When asked about pressure, Jordan once said, quote, "Pressure is something you feel when you don't know what you're doing." He knew exactly what he was doing because he had done it thousands of times in his mind before even doing it on the court. The blueprint principle? Clutch isn't a gene you're born with. It's a skill you develop through deliberate practice and mental preparation. Jordan's greatest criticism was also his greatest strength. He was impossibly demanding of his teammates. But this wasn't bullying, this was leadership through elevated standards. Jordan understood that championship teams aren't built on friendship, they're built on shared commitment to excellence. He famously punched teammate Steve Kerr during practice, but Kerr later said that it made their relationship stronger because it showed Jordan cared about winning more than being liked. Jordan wasn't trying to be mean, he was trying to create a culture where mediocrity was literally impossible. His psychological warfare with teammates like Scott Burrell wasn't cruelty, it was conditioning. He was testing their mental toughness because he knew the playoffs would test it even harder. Better to break in practice than in the finals. The blueprint principle? True leadership isn't about being popular, it's about elevating everyone around you to their highest possible level, even when they resist. Jordan's trash talk was legendary, but it wasn't random. It was strategic psychological warfare designed to get inside opponents' heads and disrupt their mental game. He studied his opponents like a chess master, looking for psychological weaknesses that he could exploit. Against players who were emotional, he'd try to make them angry and unfocused. Against quiet players, he'd try to get them thinking instead of reacting. He once told Muggsy Bogues, quote, "Shoot it, you midget," during a crucial shot. And Bogues later said that it affected his confidence for years. But the mental game wasn't just about opponents. It was about controlling his own psychological state. Jordan had routines for everything. Pre-game rituals, between-quarter mental resets, ways to channel anger into focus instead of letting it scatter his attention. The blueprint principle? The game between the ears is often more important than the game on the court. Master your mind and your opponent's mind, and you control the outcome. Jordan wasn't just playing games, he was building a legacy. Every decision, every performance, every moment was viewed through the lens of how it would be remembered. He understood that greatness isn't just about what you accomplish, it's about how those accomplishments inspire others long after you're gone. His final shot as a Bull, the game winner against Utah in 1998, perfectly captures this mindset. He didn't just want to win, he wanted to win in a way that would be remembered forever. The steal, the push-off, the follow-through, holding his form as the ball swished through the net, it was athletic artistry designed for immortality. Even his comeback attempts were calculated legacy moves. He knew his mystique was partially built on going out on top, but he also knew that showing he was human made his earlier perfection even more impressive by contrast. The blueprint principle? Think beyond the game you're playing today. Build something that transcends your individual performance and inspires future generations. Michael Jordan's blueprint for greatness isn't about basketball. It's about the systematic pursuit of excellence in any field. Use failure as fuel. Practice with obsessive precision. Prepare your mind for pressure moments. Demand excellence from everyone around you. Control the mental game. Build something bigger than yourself. Jordan once said, quote, "I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something. But I can't accept not trying." That's the blueprint. Not the guarantee of success, but the commitment to the process that makes success inevitable. The greatest competitor who ever lived didn't just show us how to win, he showed us how to think, how to prepare, and how to turn the pursuit of excellence into a way of life. What will you do with this blueprint? If this breakdown of Jordan's greatness gave you insights that you can apply to your own pursuits, well then hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the minds of legends. What aspect of Jordan's blueprint resonates most with you? Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, greatness isn't about where you start. It's about refusing to accept anything less than your absolute best.